All right. How's everybody doing today? Let's have some fun. So just been kind of going through some things. Been having streamed and I feel like I missed 2 or 3 days. We had the Tuesday this week. Didn't do the webinar, or did the webinar last Thursday. Can't remember what happened on Tuesday, but basically, I think I just was like, what should I work on? And didn't really come to anything, and was going to start a little bit late. So I was like, you know what, let's just reset. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what, I haven't messed with the Node-RED OPC UA module in a while. I remember when it first came out, I was messaging a lot of the developers, asking questions and things like that. So, and then we had a webinar a couple months back, a lot of questions. I started looking through there and I was like, you know, I really can't answer these questions because I haven't messed with this just yet. So I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's build something, and we'll just kind of follow along with what that webinar did loosely because I didn't watch in full details, but we're going to learn this. And then my goal at the end of this is basically to be able to take this and make a video out of it, a quick how to get started. That the webinar was very, very detailed, and I get a lot of we're getting a lot of comments and things like that. So I was like, okay, let's get a quick video how to get started. And I gotta do a little bit of research real quick. We had a specific tool, was the process. Let's open that up. Process OPC simulator server. And that's the one that was used in the webinar. And we're going to do the same thing. I've already gone through this exercise. I have already downloaded it. I have not installed it. So we'll go through the installation process together. But just want to know that I went in here and I clicked request download, signed up, got an email, downloaded it, and we are ready to do that now. So let's go ahead and just install that. And like I said, I see like we got some people joining the stream. I've messed with a lot of OPC servers in the past, mainly Kepware. I decided to go with the process because it is the one that goes with the developers, and they went through the webinar. So I know OPC changes from system to system, so we'll start off with the process, test it out, get some feelings for how things are going, and maybe test out some of the other OPC servers like Kepware. But today we're going to be sticking with this one, and we'll test out future things in the test out other ones in the future. So let's just go ahead and install this. Of course, accept, Reddit, check for updates. I don't really want to go get that update. Don't want a desktop icon. And let's run it. Drop some questions in the chat. If there's anything in particular, we're going to be following along with Node-RED contrib. I did already I did notice that you see some flow examples here. There were some questions inside of the YouTube where we can get the examples. I linked those. So if you click on examples, it takes you to a broken link. But if you click up here to view on GitHub, it will take you to this location. And from there, you can go into examples and you can see the examples here. And we'll probably be using a lot of the examples that we see in this folder. But for now, what we need to do is install. Okay, looks like the simulator is running, so we'll just leave that there. Let's install our node. And OPC UA. Updated 3 days ago. Install. Boom. Beautiful. Yeah, just want to make sure we're on the same one. And we are good. All right. So let's kind of just get a look, see what we've got over here. Got our dashboard 2.0, OPC UA. Let me make sure the dashboard's up to date because I know there were some things that came out recently. Up to date, Node-RED dashboard. Let's just go ahead and update that. All right. So my first thought is to start messing, but we're just going to do update examples for new node names. Let's see what we've got here. Code example. UA flow. Test OPC UA. Let's just start with the example flow. Let's start there. And I wonder if there's a quick copy button. So copy raw file. And Node-RED must be restarted. Okay. I'll do that real quick. I'm going to do that off to the side. You won't be able to see this. What am I looking for? I got this running as services. That's the word I was looking for. And I've got this FlowFuse running as a servers, and I'm going to just restart it. And if you're curious about what I mean by service and running it as a service or Node-RED as a service, go to flowfuse.com. Look at our blogs, and we got a nice blog about running as a service on Windows. Run Node-RED as a service on Windows. Really cool. I put my name on there, but it was mainly Steve and Rob that did most of the work. I just kind of helped test things out. I am the Windows guy in the group, so I gave it a shot. So, all right. See how this is working now. And all right, let's see from here. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and take a snapshot so we can say pre-stream. Wait, create a snapshot. Pre-stream OPC UA. We'll just create that. So we got a backup, know where we are, and we'll just stay here. Looks like everything's good. We got OPC UA, and we are going to Control Shift. I think it's Control Shift I. Oh no, not Control Shift I. Control I for import. I copied that JSON a second ago. And we're just gonna click import. Ooh. One flow. Flow one. Nope. Did it give me an test OPC UA? Perfect. So when we'll just go ahead and delete this one and delete. And click deploy. So test OPC UA. We've got our OPC simulator running. Got a structure. I haven't used this one too much, so we'll be learning it as well. Namespace. No, we're not quite ready. Expert mode. And we'll probably pull out the manual here in a little bit. Yeah, and when in doubt, read the manual, isn't it? Right. Okay, so not installing. I think, yeah, okay, so we don't really care about that. Test server, local host. Okay. We don't think we've just deployed yet, have we? Well, they're going to attempt to reconnect here in a second. Objects view. Quick starts, alarm conditions server. Something tells me that that's a little too much for our test server. So OPC localhost. So let's just double check configurations. References, no. Objects, status. Okay, so that's what our connection address is. And so we're going to copy that to clipboard, and I bet you that's what I need to replace here. And update. Done, and deploy. Boom. Win already for today. Let's go. Yeah, I'm nerdy like that. But okay, so let's see what we've got. Is it? Okay, let's clear all that out. So is this running every so often? No, it's not. So what we're gonna do is we failed to append file error. Failed to write file, no. And this is test OPCs. Okay. Clear file. Edit trigger. Yeah, so we're basically writing edit write file node. So we haven't created files, so it doesn't have anything to do. Okay, so it's probably created that file now. So if I delete this, it should be good now. Okay, failed. Where's that failed? PC failed to write the file error, no such file directory. I got something going on off in my Slack channel, so just give me 1 second. Sorry, but we'll just keep myself on screen for a second. So log in. And I'll be right back. All right, sorry, back now. We were just troubleshooting this, just trying to figure out exactly why no failed to write file error, no file such directory. My guess is it create. Let's just try to run this one more time, and I bet you I'll just have to click that button real quick that says failed to write. Failed to no such file direction. And we're gonna say correct directory if it does not exist. Not deployed failed, not authorized. See what the logs say. Okay, so it's not giving me anything when I deploy. That's weird that it worked that time. So still getting me there. Okay, let's start with one of these. Let's say create directory if it does not exist. Deploy. Move this out of the way so we don't have to keep on dragging left and right. Done. Okay. Create directory if it doesn't exist. Done. Okay, so that's better. And let's clear this out so we're not getting errors anymore. We're getting message payload. Really like to see that in JSON. So let's drop a JSON node in there. I don't want to configure it. I could just output but I don't know what the rest of this is doing just yet. So we're not gonna mess with the code just yet. We're gonna get a feel for what's going on here. This might be a short stream. Because, all right, so we're browsing, and what we say OPC UA item. OPC UI item topic browser. So we're browsing. And our data is an object type OPC item, data type OPC double, value is 6. Let's just pin that real quick. Let's run that again. Okay. Data type opc.ua.datatype.double. Want to see how it's finding that. So test server, we're not defining any locations just yet. And here we define the topic configuration, nothing there. And let's format this in JSON, not HTML, JSON. Modify it. Okay. I just want to be able to see this in a much prettier format. So, we've got an ID. Type OPC UA item. Item is the topic. And OPC data type. Name is browse name. Action browse. Message.payload browse name. We're not getting anything from here, so I want to get just a straight off. I want to see what this is looking like. And I hope you guys can hear me because I'm like moving my mic. I might move my mic up here just a little bit. Leaning in. Gotta see what's going on. Okay, so where is, there we go. Payload browse name, invalid browse name. So how do I figure out what browse name is? Okay. So it's a client. We got some variables changing there. So that's where we're reading from. Someone tells me that I'm looking at this and it's having issues because there's no slash here. I'm gonna just put that there. I want to check. Might get mad at me. Let's see what it does. Let's clear some stuff out. Browse name, invalid browse name still. Okay, so that wasn't it. Let's change it back. Just for the giggles. So OPC I really need to know. I know like that's let's look at this documentation real quick to see what those inputs are supposed to be coming in. So interval. Describe topic contains node ID and data type. So we have node NS and I. We'll look up address space for the browse. We'll look up address space for the inject message topic node ID. Node ID is right there. So what we need to do is put a valid node ID in there because we don't have a valid node ID. So figuring out node ID, let's do 101. Do 1001 because that's what this node ID is over here. Okay, so there we go. NS3. Cool. Okay, I'm getting it now. That's how the mapping works on this one. So we're gonna go back to debug, run. What? We're constantly still reading this? Okay. I think it worked. And so, let's look at this debug. There it is. Payload. Browse name. Value dictionary entries. Node ID 0. Data. Constant variable data price. Okay. So when I looked at all of these, I'm looking at the this one doesn't have a value. It's a variable based data variable type. It's a constant. This one's a counter, so it's going to be counting up. So let's do that one. N3 102. And that's how the mapping works for this. We don't do it based off of tag structure. We do it based off of the node ID information. I'm so used to like name kind of almost like MQTT. So we have like OPC / simulation node / the name. But here it looks like we have node ID structure that we then, once we get to a certain level, then we apply to that. All right, so that's good. So let's save, deploy. Let's clear this out. I don't want this anymore. And I don't need that anymore. Reconfigured library items. Oops, it's creating a file and writing those down. Done. So let's browse this again and see what we get. So it's giving me a value still, OPC double type. Let's see what we're looking at here. Still 66.6. So let's figure out why we're getting topic. Oh. Sorry, I got a message real quick. All right, so I'm gonna turn off these other ones real quick. We're just figuring out what this code is doing. So if I click on this, and it's giving me all of each of the items from this particular NS0, and it's counting all of its. Okay. Let's look at the documentation some more. Hey, how's it going? Let's see what this one says. So we're okay. And that just says it doesn't exist. All right, 1 second. I gotta do something real quick. All right. So let's look at so NS3. I want to look at NS3 I 102, which is basically a counter. I will subscribe to it. And to subscribe. Okay. OPC UA items, the 3. Okay. And now this is running every test server subscribe interval of 6 seconds. So let's do it to 1 second. And subscribe. We'll clear that out. Subscribe. Now, yep, that's looking good. That's I mean, that's the type of things we're really going to be doing, the subscribing to a device type and basically pull that information in. So we're getting that every reading, 22, 23, 24. I wonder whether to subscribe types, if we could do unchange or anything like that. Subscribe, monitor. I wonder what monitor does. Bet you that's write items. That's base variable type, double access level. So we could write to that. Let's not do that just yet. Let's clear this out. Let's unsubscribe. Oh, there we go. Let's clear that out. And I guess it actually just unsubscribes when you like it stores it in the, so if when I deploy it, deletes the deployed. So we're good. All right, that's fine. We're not gonna write an item, so I feel like this browse, there's things that it's like dropping information in, and I may not know exactly what NS, like this naming convention is just yet, so I'm gonna have to learn some more. But my guess is it's writing to a file, all that address list, and then that address list is something that I can be used to subscribe to from, let's say, a browsing mechanism. So I can like create like a dashboard or visualization to then set my subscription up to which ones I want. So therefore, you're not necessarily creating a whole bunch of flows for every individual connection, but you'll necessarily just select which ones you want to subscribe to, press a single button, subscription, and then it outputs the payload to wherever you want it to go, whether it's a InfluxDB time series database or MQTT or whatever, if you want to kind of transform it. So this is cool. I think we got some good ideas from this. Let's mess around for a little bit more. So the biggest thing that I found here is read OPC UA item. There's nothing there right now, except for items right there. So OPC, I need to figure out what the documentation. So if I say NS equals, no, that's not telling me much. Let's go back. Let's read some documentation. Let's look up node ID. Node ID. Value defines the value of node ID. Okay. Excuse me. Wonder if this means. What is the value of B? I haven't quite figured that one out. So let's look over here at this and see if we see anything that says B. Let's look over here. Display name. Value good, operation status good. That's always good. Data type integer 32. References has definition and the value. So there you can see like the value going up and down. That's kind of cool to be able to have that within your own visualization. Okay, so process OPC E. Let me just see what it says. Because I'm not familiar with this naming and structure convention just yet. Let's go back over here to this documentation, see if we got something here. Find B equals nothing. NS equals topic. Node ID in data format. Deadband absolute. That's to read. Node. Namespace is that. I'm assuming NS is namespace. Hey, how's it going? Just messing around with this OPC UA solution. We're gonna be making a video on this later. Just trying to familiarize myself with it right now. Have some fun with it. Learn. What if this has any documentation? Browse node allows users to select items. Runtime browse. Select root folder, subfolder, select item. Actions client node. Item node for defining item. So input message. So this is basically what deadband type absolute. I wonder, so like when I subscribe here, we've got just I is node ID. I want to just copy this and paste that. I'm going to copy this and hold it in my clipboard. Just paste that one right there. Deploy. And so when I run this, I believe I should just get a single variable, which would make sense, and a payload of 6. Okay, so I'm yeah, awesome. Just having fun over here with OPC connections. So if you have any questions or want to know anything, just let me know. But yeah, just trying to figure out this node. I've seen a lot of conversation, a lot of people liking this particular. I've used this in the past. Just kind of get myself familiar with it again. It's been years. And message Klaus and the team that made this solution way back when I was using it, and it's a lot changed, and I've forgotten more, it seems like. So let's open up this and look at references. We went through all this and we saw. I wonder if I go to namespace, if there's something associated in namespace, simulation server, nodes. Yeah, we won't mess with namespaces just yet, because I think there's things that like we need to foundationally understand first. It's running. Oh, alarm rate variable type. So we've got base data variable types, alarm rate property types. Oh, okay. All right, so I think maybe I'm confusing. So let's pull. Nope, not that one. This one right here. So we got some other variables. So audio variable type. Oh, I need to enable expert mode. Gotcha. All right. I saw that button. Oh, okay. All right. I wanted to keep it simple, but I'm not. We're apparently jumping straight into it. All right. Address spaces. Server dictionaries. Okay, there's our endpoint. There's a port configuration, certificates, user sessions, connection logs, so we can see everything that's happening. It looks pub sub. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's our namespace. That's where the 3 ties into this. And then when I come back over here to my objects inside of that namespace of OPC simulator nodes, if I come back over to my objects, OP simulator nodes, right? Simulation nodes. Simulation. So let's go back over here to not sessions, endpoints, but simulation server's namespace 2. Okay, so really in namespace 2 over here, if I understand that. But if I came in over here and subscribed, let's look at the subscribe real quick. Namespace 3, which is simulation nodes. Welcome. Yeah, we're just exploring right now, learning about this integration, and I'm going to try to do a video at a later time to basically, once I take all the information and so we can apply it. And I'm not as familiar with this OPC server as I am with Kepware. So learning it, seems like it's got a lot more features. So giving it a shot. And again, I think a lot of OPC servers are all function a little bit different. Like, this to me reminds me a lot more about how like Siemens, like as a PLCs, like especially the 7300s tend to function, where you're kind of doing absolute addressing before the 1500 series. So you'd be like db1.db or b like byte 15 or whatever it is. I can't even remember, it's been a while, but where you do absolute addressing to the PLCs and bring that information in. And then this is kind of along that, where I'm basically looking at the node IDs and aligning myself to the node IDs that I'm subscribing to, which it's interesting because when I think about it, I want to add a node. Let's say I add a variable. Let's just add a variable. We'll call this cheese. And then I give it a node ID. String with. Interesting. We'll just keep that there. We can change the new namespaces. Base data type variable. Okay, so we can change the data type. Let's see, yeah, I figured that would just collapse it all. And this is that list of data type variables that we had from the previous one that we can kind of like apply. Like, is an alarm, what type of UA variable is it? And then we have the sampling interval diagnostic. So which one are the data types? So we have base data variable type. All right, let's cancel this. We'll just keep it as is right now. And oh, here we go. So we want to make this. Let's just make it a string for right now, if I can do that. And so let's see if we can write something to it. Have some fun. Write a variable to this byte string. We're gonna write the type of cheese, cheddar. Let's see if we can write cheddar to cheese. Let's do it. All right, so cheddar. Let's see if it. Do I have to enable it or run it, or? Because it's grayed out. I wonder what that means. You know what they say, you should always read the manual. Let's look at the references and see how these might be different. So I want to look at the base data type variable. Oh, I can't edit it. Type double. So read the source code. Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite there yet today, but let's see what we got here. So it says byte string. That's a good variable. So let's just see if we can write to it. So I know the attributes. It's an NS31008. It has the access level, current read, current write. In theory, I should be able to write to this. So let's give it a shot. So we're gonna write. I'm gonna just copy this one right here. Copy paste. Drop that there. And NS3 and 8. Value of cheddar, and done. Deploy. All right, here we go. Let's look at my value. Currently it's null. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Okay, so display name variable value. It did not take it. So I wonder if I have to put it in quotes. And let's see if we get any alerts from my debug node, because it's probably yelling at me. All right, so I am getting some alerts. OPC setting value, oh, cheddar. It's just a warning. But it says it's a data type double, but it's not a data type double, it's a data type byte string. So how do I change that? Right. Data type. Okay, nothing there. All right, smooth this out of the way. Nothing there that I see that I need to do. Nothing there, just a right. So let's just kind of pull off some, well, I don't need to write one off of that one. Let's see what this does. If I deploy there, it says value written, but I'm not seeing cheddar over here. So if I run this, let's see, I'm gonna run that again. Cheddar. It's great. Okay, so we have 2 quotes, so we only need 1 quote. Or we don't need quotes. That would be wrong. So NS 3108 type. Oh, okay, here we go. Byte string. I wonder if that's probably one of my issues. We'll just say string. And okay. Deploy right. Error of the value supply for the attribute is the name type of the attribute value. Okay, that makes sense. So it seems like we have an issue with our maybe I need to just say byte. I wonder if that's too much of a, like, that's too, this needs to be, byte string is not big enough for cheese. Let's just put a byte, I don't know, like D. We'll just see if we can write a letter D. Error attribute same. Okay. Byte array. Okay. But I think I need to change the byte array over here. Maybe byte. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Nope. Didn't like it. Data type. I wonder if I can edit this now. How do I edit this? So maybe I have to turn it off. Edit node. No, it won't let me edit this. Add node. Let's do add variable. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna say string. And we're gonna create a more I mean, that's what I'm doing. That's the whole point of the stream. We're just throwing stuff out here and see what sticks. I'm having fun, you know. And the thing is you learn when you struggle. At least for me. And one of the things that I like about streaming is like, I'm just learning, and I might as well do this on stream. Maybe this will be valuable. At the same time, some people jump in there and be like, hey, try this, try that. And sometimes that actually makes my life a lot easier. So no, just let's see what sticks. I'm not. So date string, decimal string. I just want a normalized string. Yeah, online rubber ducking. Oh yeah. So I don't want to do a time. Text. let's just try to keep it easy. Let's do a Boolean. Let's call this cheese bool. Cheese bool, I like it. And base data variable type, just keep that there. And we're gonna be cheese bool. And we'll turn this back on. It's running. It's so weird that like once I try to send something in there, that's when it like was like me. Alright. 9. And we're gonna just send a boolean 1, I think, true. I mean, that's kind of what I would think, right? Okay. Value. Okay, so it value written to ns3 1. Oh, I didn't go click on cheese bool. Yeah, cheese bool. ns3 1009 current read write. What does this one look like? ns1 101. ns1 101 is, let's see what ns1 101 is on this right now. And let's just see if the default one works, because we should be seeing a 6 point. Says it doesn't exist. ns3 101. So it says values written and payload should be a payload of 0. It says it's value, right? Let's look at the documentation to see what the write does. All right. Where's my, there we go, right. Okay. No, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the OPC value. It's got a default value there. And I feel like I should be just doing the default structure. So OPC UA item. Let's see what this kind of kicks this out as. Debug full payload. And debug. Oh, no. Debug clear all. And when I look at that, so it's taking that payload to 6.6 topic OPC. I wonder why its data type is trying to say a data type double. I wonder if that's the default data type for this particular data type double. And it already knows the structure of what it should be. Okay. Once I defined what it changed over here on the right hand side. So once I defined it as data type double, that matches the same data type, it worked. Great. And it's ns3 1001. So if I change this to 55.1, I click done deploy. And when I run it, we should see this right here change. And there it goes, it changed. So we're writing, doing well. So my problem, I think, with this one, so let's try this as Boolean, but instead of 1, let's try true. because that might be a format structure that I'm not applying it correctly. Cheese bool. True. There we go. True. Let's change it to false. Done. Deploy. Gotta celebrate the wins, baby. Celebrate the wins. Having fun. Like it. All right. So now what I want to see is how can I dynamically write to a device from a system. So let's think about it. If I got a PLC or some system and I want to write an OPC value, like a stored procedure, and shift change or product change or something like that, and I got an array of devices I need to write to. So if I look at this, and we'll just double click this, and I wonder what the defined input. So, oh, so S is my variable name. So let's try to do my variable name here in a second, because that's what that stands for. So in S3 is namespace 3, which we found from here, namespace 3 or index of the namespace. S equals my variable. So in this particular case, like cheese bool would be my variable. So let's try that. Let's try that. That's because that's what I'm more familiar with. So cheese bool. Paste that there. Cheese bool. And we're going to change it back to true. Aren't you guys having fun? Because I'm having fun. I love this. I love this stuff. Just figuring things out, having fun. Then we'll create a video of this and we'll share it with everybody. All right, so let's go back to our debug. Let's clear this out and make sure this is cheese bool. Nope, that's not cheese bool. This is cheese bool. I hope you guys like my naming convention because I am very proud of my naming convention. Cheese did not bool. Cheese did not bool. Cheese bool. Did I? Cheese bool? It didn't work like I thought it was gonna do. The ID refers to a node that does not exist in the server address space. I wonder if cheese bool. You know what it is? I think I figured out what it is. Do you remember I was coming over here? I was like, what in the world is... Let's paste something from my clipboard. This. I'm curious. Hex to that ASCII. Nope. Hex to decimal? That would be ASCII. Nope, that did not do what I was expecting it to be. I thought 10. That looks like hexadecimal. To decimal. Convert. Okay, so that is a. That looks like a very decimal number. I wonder what that represents, though. Oh well, let's move back. I thought I was, but so my thought is maybe my this cheese bool needs to be in a hex. Could that be it? And that's why we're seeing things. And so let's switch from text to hex. No spaces, none. That's not looking very pretty. I'll give it a shot anyways. Yeah, that wasn't it. It sounded fun. Sounded like right there for a second. Once I get a Slack message. So that wasn't it. It sounded really good. Browse name? Display name. What if that's what I need to do? Copy selected. Browse name. 3:. So, but that would be 3:, cheese bowl. So we're figuring this out. Sure, it's super easy. 3:, cheese bowl. But it's not gonna be it. So okay. Well, let's just keep on going with the I format, with the node ID, and we'll just go from there. So, and that's not that. That's doable. So, all right, there we go. We can write. We can do that. Let's have fun. Let's move forward. So, what I want to do now is my variable true value. Let's go back and create one that's like an integer. So we'll go cheeseint, and we'll create a new variable cheeseint int, and we're gonna call data value time format. Let's guess that's gonna be. I wonder what the string format. Sorry, I'm getting distracted over here. Byte string. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm looking at all these and getting excited. Let's just do data value. It's gotta be pretty straightforward. Data value. Node ID is 1010. What? I didn't mean to add that to that. Nope. Let's delete that one. Let's add it to here. Variable. Cheese int. Data type is data value. Click cheeseint. Love it. All right. Yeah. So cheeseint is 1010, and it is gonna be in. Let's just do. I don't like all these different variables of integer. All right, 8. It says value supplied for the attribute is not the same value. Okay, that's kind of what I was concerned about. Because 8. The value for the supplied attribute is not the same value type. So cheeseint is a variable type of data value, which that doesn't sound I need to look at the manual and say data types. That's not the manual, but this is. Let's look at OPC data types. Complex data types. Let's get back up here and look at the blog to see if I can find something in their blog. If I click here, and then let's look up data types. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go back over here because I'm just seeing this value and a data type. So if I come over here and I click value, how did they get that? Type. It's type constant? Let's delete cheesent. So base data type, and then we have all these different number. There we go. All right, so if we do a double, and we'll just make it a double. Okay, and we have cheesent double. A double cheesent. All right, sorry. I cracked myself up. All right. There's the bottom of the window of all Data types. I think I've got it now, but let's just see. So, okay, got it. Perfect. I was just missing. So when I went in here, let's just create a new one. And when I look at my data type, I really needed to go down to number and the type of number that is. So I imagine I need to go down to string and look at my string here, decimal string, date string. Really don't know the differences between those besides just being a string type, but we will worry about string later. But so now what I want to do is I have my cheese int that I'm writing to, but right now the variable is type 8. So if I do like 15 and I run that, I kind of want to create a counter that counts up to like 13 just so it can simulate data going in and stuff. So I'm going to drop in a counter in +1. For some reason, my brain's just hurting right now. What's the easiest way to do that? And I'm thinking it's just gonna be a best way. All right, so let's just see what how the function. I haven't used this in a while, so I've used the ChatGPT config. We're gonna ask ChatGPT to write our code for us today, and what we're gonna do is have it write to create a counter that stores the value in the brain. Why can't I think of this? In the context data in the node context data, and then also sends it to message.payload once above 30 reset to 0. Let's just see what it does. Thinking. Let's see if it works. Ooh, but I probably need to set it to message.payload.value would be my guess. Gives this OPC UA item as value. Let's see what it does. We're having fun. So run. And reset our node. We have to select my node. Let's see what our debug says. I got too many windows open. Okay, so So I need to delete this value here because it's just gonna always drop in 15. Figure that out. Okay, so it's not inputting the variable. So we need to look to see how I input a dynamic variable into this. All right. Actually, first let's make sure that we're writing this variable out the way I expect it to be. Sure, it knows that it's there. Okay. Let's just drop it to message to see if it's writing it in. Excuse me. All right, that makes me happy. Not. Oh. Hey, it was that simple. I don't know why it's like. I guess it's writing it twice because of that. So now I have made a node-read counter that changes the variable as it goes. Sweet. That's fun. So what I've done is a roundabout way of, instead of using the built-in counter inside of the process system, I've now written from node-read into it, and I've also extracted data from it. Again, there's probably a lot of easier ways to leverage this, but let's just let's keep going. Let's see what some of these other flows do. So we've read from it, we've written to it. We've got namespaces, which we understand the namespaces in the nodes. Let's put this out, and then don't really know what's going on in address spaces. I think that's too much for me right now. Basically got an idea of what our UA TCP connection status is. Not too worried about connections log. Yeah. And pub sub. So I'm guessing this is. I'll worry about that later. All right. So. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna just stick over here. Okay, so here's our data types. And if I say string, let's see what type of string. So I don't want to alarm. Yeah. All right. Object types, variable types, event types. Yeah, we're just gonna stay over here for now. So we have written an integer, we have written a bool, we have not done a string. Let's do a string real quick. Let's figure out cheese string. Let's delete this one because we never got it working. Because I really want to write cheddar. That's really what I want to do. Okay. So let's add one variable cheese. And we're going to leave that as base. And I think what we want to do is just type string. Done. So Let's look at cheese. So it's N3I1008. N3I1008. We are going to change this to type string and cheddar and save. Deploy. I bet you it's gonna work this like first time just because I picked the right data type. So value. There we go. Cheddar, cheddar, cheddar. Random types of cheeses. And cool. So writing to it's actually sometimes some of the hardest parts. So let's focus on reading now. I wonder how. I'm gonna save this and let's leave this be. This is functioning. We can reference back to this because what I want to do is I want to be able to monitor a specific device or specific variable. Excuse me. And so as I monitor that variable, I want to know if it changes or without a band. I bet you it has things like that built in. Because that's like kind of like, you know, good data management. So let's say, for example, you have like a level sensor on a tank. And, you know, you're going to get fluctuations in the level sensor. But I don't really need to take every single time it changes. I only need to take it if it's outside of a standard deviation of, let's say, I don't know. Well, you can figure that out. But just like do like a standard deviation of 1 and then store that. Or every minute or so, you reset it. So let's see what type of abilities we have inside of that. So I imagine I'm not the first person to think of this. So let's see. What some of these examples are. So multi-sub test OPC test nodes, variables. And that was the one that we just did was an example flow, I'm pretty sure. And that one was great. That one did everything we wanted it to. Events. I bet you that's it. That sounds really, really positive. That's like exactly what we want. So let's create a new one. I bet you it's gonna be like, oh, we'll just current flow import. Create a new tab for me. Get out of here. Yeah, events, and let's delete this. Go over here to events. Event type base event. What does event do? That will subscribe. The source node defines the node where events are subscribed. The root server ID is used if all events of the server shall be processed if available. So would it be I-85? Not Interstate I-85, is it? Okay, so let's see what that does. And we're done. And we deploy. Yeah. I don't think this is what I'm we gotta connect to ours. Term deploy. So I've now subscribed to initialize. I don't know what initialize means. To all events on our server of node I-85. So in theory, if I write, shouldn't that be an event? Let's find out. So if I write, But I wonder if events are like issues. Events. Oh, we're not going to get any events. So requires that okay. Well, that didn't do us any good. Let's just go ahead and delete this and we'll deploy. Okay. Browse endpoint. Browse and subscribe. Let's check that one out. Copy raw file. And since we're on the new flow import. Browse. PC browser. We're gonna select this one. It already knows we're in a simulation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 0 and S3. Okay, and S3. Let's do that. And deploy. Confirm deploy. Browse node error. I don't know if it's trying to write over it there. I feel like we don't even need this one. This seems old right here. Like they've updated stuff. It's a topic of message object to browse. Let's just do okay. NS3. Tired of that. Giving me a hard time. Okay, so browse is not happy with me. Endpoint, which that should be fine. Topic says that it needs to be browse topic field is to define one browsable OPC UA item address like NS3 I85 I equals 85. And payload contains just one reference of the given OPC UA address. That doesn't, I'm not quite sure. There's no way that's it, but. And it said timestamp, so I don't know what that's gonna do. Nothing. Identifier is, that's what I stands for. All right, so no, look at this documentation. Connect to an endpoint, inject a timestamp, or fill the topic of message object to browse. Okay. I feel like I've done all these and I'm just kind of being duplicated, but this would be NS3. For namespace 3. Yeah. And I don't think when I imported this, just a new flow, and I want to say me. This set browser address, there was never a payload, so it was just message a topic and message that action is browse. I'm gonna drop this in here and we'll delete this one. And I'm kind of curious about message.action type, because that seems to be almost removed from the documentation. But it's already breaking down before I'm even sending any connection information to it. wonder if maybe this, I don't have the capabilities because this is a simulation. Yeah, I don't know. We'll worry about this one later. Let's just move on. So events. See what this one does. Comment. That looks like that's an internally to test node. But it looks like really everything we need is in the example flow. I think that's the one. I think this is the one. Let's just copy this one and test OPC. Yeah, test OPC UA. So when I imported that one, import or copy. And then we have alarm, quick start, localhost. What is that? Looks like it's just created an additional. I'm not too worried about it. So, yeah, this is the only thing you need is this one right here. I'm actually gonna go back to one of these YouTube. And let's see. There's just some questions on there. I'm gonna answer real quick. Actually, there's me live. This one. Don't start it. Go. Perfect. Now, there's the example flows. So for people to come back and watch this YouTube video, they'll be able to see those example flows, and that's everything they need to basically get started. So what I'll do is I'm now going to take this and I will see how I can convert this to a quick video. Won't do that now, but you know what I want to do? I do kind of want to test out and see install Kepware. Let's go ahead and stop the simulation. I'm just kind of curious if it'll work. All right, be right. Well, you're just not going to see my screen for a little bit. You can see me. All right. Oop. All right. We've believe, yep. Gonna go ahead and download this. And what we're gonna do is call this one process. And we're going to import and we're going to start over. Whoop. Oh. Oh. Oh, wait, skip setting password at this time. That's what I want to do. I don't want to configure this via API right now. All right, so let's go back over here. We call this one Kepware OPC, and this is just one that I know a little bit better. Not saying one's better than the other. Just what I know. I guess I've just never seen that addressing information, because that's usually not how I approach it. So finish, set up insert. Okay. Come on. I see you down there. Hello. Come be my friend. Where are you? Okay, there he goes. Like, hey. All right, so basically how Kepler works is you get a 2-hour, it'll run, and you can do some testing. It's basically the full-blown solution, and then you just like restart it every 2 hours during testing processes. Look at that. IoT gateway. These are all things that I used to work on these all the time right here back in the day. So we got channel 1, data, devices, registers. So we get 8-bit devices, simulation examples. That's the one I want right there. Functions, right? All right, so let's look at the properties of this, because what we're looking for is not the naming convention, but okay. So first step is, let's see if we can connect to it. So let me just minimize that. Connectivity, properties. Oh, come on. Add a new endpoint. And theory should be basically the same as this with a different port. In this particular case, the port is 49320. We're not going to have any security policies because we didn't set those up. And we'll click done. And see if anything connects. That's not positive just yet. Alright, so we're gonna go to project properties. Select file, start. Configuration. File. Okay, OPC UA. That's what I needed. Allow anonymous login. Okay. And then runtime reinitialize. Ooh, somebody did connect. Probably just actually myself, which was my quick client. Okay. So default server address org. OCP OPC. Did I see that a second ago? Okay. And so I'm actually doing it with my local host. Okay, so it didn't like that. OPC dot TCP / localhost 49320 and we don't have a certificate. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't really look like it wants. It's probably just like it just doesn't support because OPC is not like it's not universal. Just because it works on one doesn't mean it's going to work on another. So unless there's thoughts here. So that's where I saw opc.tcp / let's do 127 so localhost. .0.1 anonymous done deploy. And just leave that there. Security is basic SHA. .256 .56. Sign and encrypt. And 4920. Bet you it's because I don't have, I mean, it's going to ask me. Invalid endpoint. Okay. Check that the cert. Basic 256. Sign and encrypt. We just turn that off. Then we turn that off. We say none. Update. Okay. Done. Deploy. So it's still not liking that. So 127.0.0.1 49320. Security is none. And none. And we allow anonymous. I wonder if I have to restart this now. Probably. Stop runtime service. We're gonna stop it. So that's about everything that I can think of. Because we're doing it on the local host. So we're basically allowing localhost without any security. Port number 49320. OPC.tcp. Just copy that. Make sure I'm like really got that right, but I'm pretty sure I do. No security policies. Security mode is, since we don't have any security policies, it's none. And we are allowing logging in as anonymous. And update We're just trying to connect to it. And it's reconnected. Attempt. So let's see what the log says. That's old, I think. Reconnect. Okay. Just giving me errors. It's not doing anything for me. Can't work without OPC UA client. Of course. I'm not seeing anything else there. Let's see, let's just do some Googling now. I wonder if so where am I getting these errors? Okay. I'm gonna just exit this. Okay. Let's just read. Same one we were just looking at a second ago. Is it really a certificate thing? I'm not seeing any warnings, and that's why I'm seeing errors. And I'm not set up for any certificates. Yo, how's it going? And that should be it. Certificate non-used. Use self-generated. Let's just try this to see if it gets me an error. Delete these. Oops. Not work. What did my error start saying? Okay. Downloaded OpenSSL and it works. Alright, so sounds like I have to use the configuration and certificates. I'm having so open once you download OpenSSL websites you use to get. Might be messing with this one now, but I hope they don't get mad when they're both installed simultaneously. But let's just give this a little bit more of a shot. So we have 30 minutes left. Let's just go ahead and try this other node out. So we're gonna go back over here and we're gonna just disable this flow, clear all this out, close, and palette manager, IoT. Red contrib. Make sure there's no notes down here. Still installing. Okay. It's had any issues. Nope. Go ahead and import maybe this new flow. So it's got a built-in OPC server on this device. I remember working with this in the past. So let's leave that there, and we're gonna come over here. Listener, maybe, and come over here, and we're gonna say configuration. Nope, that's not one. We want OPC UA configuration. Endpoints. double click on that. We're going to copy there. And discover. Security, none. Local host only. Strategy settings. Okay, so don't know what discovery means. Show errors. Activities. Done. Deploy. So it's just leaving and waiting. So let's just drop debug node. I feel like this might not be the right tool for us. Actually, let's see what the documentation says. Nodes read or address space array of objects with property node ID. Okay. So we have to, let's see what a read looks like over on this page. So we have monitoring, browse, and read. So with this browse local. Okay. So that doesn't seem like it's doing what I expect it to do. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like undoing, so I'm back to maybe default configuration. All right, so let's just delete this entirely. We're gonna re-import this. Let's just do examples. No client session active on read. Okay, so that means our configuration is not right. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm not quite sure on these configurations. When I look at this capservdx, like I know my endpoint is this, and should be there. So okay, there we go. Discovery, optional lookup. Some servers point discovery port. Discover. We'll see if it had anything on. Seems like. Client not session active read. Demo server example. Just looking through this to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because when I got back, was there one just called basic? Nope. So we got about 15 minutes. So let's just see if we can find, need an inject node. Okay. Browser. Browser. See, I'm not seeing any of those configurations like you saw, like the in. Listener. Response to a debug. Yeah, I think we're going to be calling it today without much progress, unfortunately, on this one. because I just can't even get it connected. And I'm probably just missing some like very simplistic setting. It looks like people are connecting to this, but seeing. It seems like it's probably a cert. Trusted clients. So that's my it's the same one. I don't have access to that guide, it looks like. Security policies, I've not done that. That is under settings, security policies, permissions to anonymous clients, dynamic addressing. Will allow, so that's good. Yeah, all that was pretty much set up right. Server endpoints. We've gone through all that. Which is basically these. The default adapter. So we've just give this one more shot. Yeah, I think that's gonna. Yeah, didn't like that. Because we are anonymous. That's what I want to stay as anonymous. And then user credentials, user certificate. I just want to allow anonymous connection for right now, and then we can start adding security to it. But I wonder if I still have to put a path there, even though it's not really. Mm-hmm. No, we've already got that one. Let's just look at this one more time over. Yep, allow anonymous, done all that. And for me, the client was added as a trusted default. so let's just move this over here for now. And OPC UA configuration, trusted clients. So issuer. Default is allowed. I cannot look so respected or join it. Guess I have to log in somehow. I'll be right back. As far as sharing my screen. Yeah, I don't have an account. Just filling out all the information. Oop. Okay. 5 or create account. Okay, there we go. All right. I've created my account. And logging in and verify address. Let's see if these links now work. Weird. All right. Well, we're getting the end of the time. I gotta go. I will probably troubleshoot this offline, and I will see everyone next time. Have a good day.